welcome to our creators, guests, curious bystanders. This is the 4th time we've had the honor to stand at this podium, so we've decided to get a real one.
Yeah, in the past years, we've filmed in front of a green screen. It was just the two of us to host with a whole bunch of animated characters in the crowd. This has always allowed us to create a very slick production because we're not actually doing it live in previous years.
This probably won't be that polished, but we're here to have fun and to celebrate all the games that are now a part of the community thanks to your imagination and creative willpower.
Yeah, so whatever happens tonight, the hard part is already done. You guys made the games. We all got to play them. So everyone here is a winner. We've heard it from a lot of people, like, this is another amazing year. Like every year, the games and the quality of games and the amount of games continues to grow. We saw 104 NESmaker developers create 52 games in the span of 5 weeks. Let's see the game reel. I mean, it's going to be so hard to judge these things. That's why we're not the judges of these things. We always get
not.
Yeah, I do not envy the judges when they have to look at a slew of games like that and try and figure out the winners. And the one thing that I noticed about this year, and hopefully you guys saw it too, the diversity in the games. There was such a dramatic diversity. You know, I remember hearing one of the fears about sort of a WYSIWYG NES development tool was that we were just going to get a bunch of clones of each other and it was going to saturate the market with.
Yeah, it'll be shovelware.
So yeah, and every year I get to see this development community prove that idea wrong, and we get such creative concepts.
Absolutely.
So,
so our first category is Best Art. I usually introduce this one because I spend more time drawing than sleeping. And I usually say something about how challenging it is to create pixel art and talk about the limitations, and that's all true. But when you look at the variety of stuff that was turned in this year, I think you'd never know it.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, we know when we put this in the hands of artists and musicians and game developers, we'd see amazing new stuff.
But every time we think it can't possibly get better, you guys blow us away with stuff that's as good as anything we saw during the original era of the NES.
We had a really cool art judge this year. Our judge is an artist for Sabotage Studios. She knows something about perfecting pixel art. She was one of the artists on the game Sea of Stars. So please welcome Savannah Parent.
Hi, Sav from Sabotage Studios to present the Best Pixel Art category for this year's Byte-Off competition. So all of the games that you guys created were really cool, and I had a hard time picking only one. I really liked Delta 9 for the clarity of the assets and environments, the cool intro cutscene, and the expressive portraits as well. However, only one game can win, and for the great use of parallax and the clarity of the assets and the colors, the overall polish and coherence, the winner for this year's Byte-Off competition Best Pixel Art is Adventure of Panzer Frontiers. Congratulations to them and everybody else who submitted the game. I was really impressed by the overall quality. Thank you so much. Cheers.
So a great game has to have music.
Does it?
To be eligible for this category, it does.
He is the head engineer and producer for Right Way Studios. He has worked live sound for artists like Mars Volta and has produced in all genres of music, ladies and triangle waves. Matt Bittman. I haven't seen all these jokes. Matt Bittman.
Hi, my name is Matt Bittman, and I'm a producer and engineer at Right Way Recording Studios. Before that, I worked for Microprose Software on games like Civilization II and Magic the Gathering. But this year, I am your judge for the category of Best Pixel Music and Sound Effects for Byte-Off IV. Before we get to the winners, I just wanted to say, wow, I am so impressed with all of the entries this year. I got my first NES system about 40 years ago, and have played dozens of original cartridges and hundreds more through emulation. All of the entries I played this year were as good or better than any of the commercial release games I've ever played for the NES. I cannot even believe how good they were. All of you did an outstanding job in both overall game design and especially on music and sound effects. Seriously, I was not expecting them to be this good. However, I must pick a winner, so here we go. Second runner-up for Best Pixel Music and Sound Effects is EV Cruising. If this competition had been just for music, you would have won this hands down. I can't think of any other NES game that has Grand Theft Auto style radio stations, and then all of the songs on every station were great, and Petrolhead in particular is just a banger of a pixel tune, and definitely my favorite music in the whole entire competition. The only thing in my opinion, the sound effects during the gameplay were a little sparse, and I could have used some more in-game sounds for vehicle charging checkpoints and for enemy cars driving past, since those activities are so core to the gameplay. But great job, and seriously some of the best 8-bit music I've ever heard. The first runner-up for Best Pixel Music and Sound Effects is Skybound Quest. This game had it all. Different music for each loading screen, an inspiring, memorable main theme for the gameplay soundtrack, and a complete and appropriate sound effects package for all the major gameplay elements like jumping, picking up power-ups, getting hit by enemies, and the sound effect for chucking your axe was especially satisfying. I can tell this game designer really understands the importance of sound design and how it can enhance your experience. But now, the winner for Byte-Off IV in the category of Best Pixel Music and Sound Effects is Zap and Zapper. Not only did Zap and Zapper nail the prog rock speed metal vibe of a Mega Man style platforming game, and have excellent sound effects for things like hits on the final boss, the falling meteor attack, but there were several innovations that made this game the clear winner. The first is when you first start the game and you hear Zap's internal machinery fire up and roar away, and Zap begins speaking to you. I noticed how each syllable had an appropriate verbal sound effect, almost like you could hear Zap speaking in his own robotic voice. I was very impressed with the attention to detail for this intro to the game. The second thing I really enjoyed was the musical theme for the boss battle at the end of the intro level. Drum and bass wasn't a genre of music that really existed during the commercial release era of the original NES. To hear that style of music done pixel style was really cool and made me feel like I was playing something fresh and new instead of a forgotten cartridge from the past. And finally, when you beat the intro level and the girl actually says, "Okay, mommy," in her real voice, I knew this one was the winner. It's a very advanced technique to do vocal synthesis and really showed an impressive mastery of the sound capabilities of the 8-bit platform. Okay, well that wraps it up for Best Pixel Music and Sound Effects category for Byte-Off IV. Thank you so much for letting me play all of your amazing entries this year. Congratulations to our winner, Zap and Zapper, and I can't wait to play all the games that you guys come up with in the future.
All games have a story, whether it's implied mechanics or communicated through elaborate cutscenes and pages of supplemental lore. Either one can be compelling.
But what makes a great story is something that transcends the medium from which it springs, to open our minds and hearts to new possibilities.
Our judge is a writer for Retro Game Magazine and has been chronicling both classic and new games for classic systems for a long time. Please welcome Andrew Fisher.
I had a great time playing the entries for this year's Byte-Off, and as a writer, I was interested in how the games presented their story to the players. For Best Narrative, an honourable mention to point-and-click adventure Carmilla. In third place, I enjoyed the new adventures of the Black Cat demo, a short but funny superhero story told through its cutscenes and Hollywood setting. Delta 9 impressed me as the runner-up. Although the overall story was a familiar one of a computer gone rogue, the intro sequence and character dialogue helped move the plot along. But there was one game that stood out. It had another sci-fi story, told with static screens and very atmospheric text. The innovative gameplay was helped by the setting and the story. The winner for Best Narrative in this year's Byte-Off competition is Crater Song by John Vanderhoff. Congratulations to everyone that took part, whether it was your first time or you're more experienced. The large number of entries and the diversity showed how healthy the homebrew scene is right now in 2024, so many years after the console launch.
Well, and now it's time, believe it or not, for our viewers at home, especially for a commercial break. Let's just say these are some ads you won't want to skip. So enjoy, and rest assured,
Or be warned.
that there's a lot more of the show when we come back.
We are heading deep within the Earth's largest known habitat, larger than all other habitats combined. Yet, despite its size, scientists know almost nothing about it. It is a place where even the sun's light cannot reach. A void of darkness where life still exists. Creatures alien to us create wondrous illuminations of light that can be used for communication, to repel predators, and to lure prey. It is here that Dr. Alistair Theron, renowned optical scientist, is testing a lens that can view a light spectrum otherwise unknown to humans. Codename, Barrel Eye. Named after a deep-sea fish whose tubular eyes are highly sensitive and adapted for collecting light. Dr. Theron has explored more deep-sea terrain than any other human being alive. At these depths, the pressure is immense, reaching upwards of over 1,000 times that of the surface. Little is known of what might exist down here, in the blackness, lurking in the shadows of the Earth's deepest frontier, a world known only as the Midnight Zone.
Introducing Pizza Portals. It's a game where you play two characters at the exact same time. It makes my brain hurt, and sometimes you have to talk to two people at the same time. But the pizza is delicious. Play Pizza Portal on the Retroverse now.
I am now going to tell you something so strange that it will require all your faith in my veracity to believe my story. It is not only true, nevertheless, but truth of which I have been an eyewitness.
Yeah, this plumbing game stinks. Wanna play the monkey game? Nope. Okay, wanna play the sword elf game? Nope. Alright, wanna play the... Ah! My back!
We sent gators to the moon, and then they went kaboom. It really was a shame, so we made a stupid game.
It's Spacing Gators 2, the third one. From the people who brought you Fat Dracula and Boris Yeltsin Quidditch comes the latest arcade classic. Arcade classic? I can't even see the damn numbers, you big dummy. It's the perfect gift for your grandparents. Or your wife. Or your tax guy. Or your mortician. And if he wasn't dead, Lee Harvey Oswald. Anyone can play this. You know, at least for a little bit. And stay tuned for the limited edition self-destruct version. From Puko.
It's a story as old as time. A tyrant in his mad search for power. A magical sword. And the heroes who will stop him. A mysterious woman in red. And a swordsman shrouded by night. Yes, that's me, right there. Oh, and did I mention, you can play it on your NES. The Storied Sword, an authentic 8-bit action platform adventure. 6 levels of amazing wall-jumping action, epic boss fights, gorgeous graphics, and a rousing chiptune soundtrack that'll have you bouncing off the walls. And birds. Lots of birds. The Storied Sword. And there it is, another bird. All right, start over. Thank God this game's got unlimited lives.
Some of the best creations of the original NES maintain their relevance long after the original games were in the dollar bin, appearing in title after title on console after console. Their stories told in television and movies, still to this day.
This category recognizes the best character introduced in one of the game entries, be it girl, robot, or donkey. Our hero expert is a design manager at Hasbro and has worked on brands such as Transformers and G.I. Joe. Here to make the tough choices is Leonard Pensica.
Hey everyone, I had a great time playing all the entries for this year's Byte-Off. I have the privilege of judging character design. For the runners-up, there are 2 that really stuck out to me. The first is Delta 9. I love the way the cover art was interpreted into the sprites. It really felt that the game was coming to life in that like aliens marooned in space sort of way. The other game that really stuck out to me was Exophage. I was very impressed by how the character design fit the story and the theme. But there was one game that stood out to me because I love the way they blended fantasy elements and Western elements, which you don't see very often. And also they used sepia colors to really hammer home that vibe. So without further ado, the winner is Adventures of Panzer Frontiers. Very good job, very exciting to see the character design come together and very unique. So keep on creating. And I want to thank everybody else who entered into the competition. Everything was very cool, very innovative, very inspired. So keep on creating, and who knows what else we'll see in the future from you guys. Thanks again.
The next award is for Best Package. We know what you're thinking. That's not what we're talking about. This category is for all the things that are not the game itself. Our judge is the community manager at Omni Creator Products. She has watched these projects come to life in the Project Frontier Discord and has seen all of your front-facing shameless self-promotion. Her name is McLaughlin.
Hi guys, this is Anissa, the community manager for Project Frontier, and I'm here to announce the winners for Byte-Off's Best Package. So it was really hard having to choose between all of the entries for this. It was really cool being able to see all of the games go from ideation to final product and all of the progress in between in the Project Frontier Discord. It was honestly the highlight of my week, being able to see everybody's posts, just seeing how much each game is being improved on. But with that, we do need to announce some winners. So the first runner-up is one that made a really cool trailer with their game and being able to suck you in with this really intriguing monologue and narration from one of the characters in the game and have this really amazing like ambient music in the background that really enhanced the vibe of what the game is about. So congratulations to Carmilla for winning first runner-up. And second runner-up is one that really tied to things that I really enjoy when it comes to creating. Being able to take something from screen to in real life, and also Legos. So congratulations to 8-Bit Bricks for winning second runner-up. And without further ado, the winner for Best Package goes to the entry that honestly blew me away out the gate on the Discord, seeing an entire freaking cabinet made and puppets. Congratulations to Space and Gators for winning Best Package for Byte-Off. So.
Just before we go to the next segment here, I wanted to say too, ladies and gentlemen who are here enjoying this award show, we would love to keep growing this. We would love to see even more people join the community making new games. Please consider becoming part of our community if you haven't already, and that might also help us get a teleprompter next year, which will make this a little bit easier. Now to break things up a little bit.
Yeah, is it time to rock out yet?
I think so. No time like halftime. We're about there, yeah.
That would be more like a dirge, wouldn't it, halftime?
I'll do the music jokes. But this next act is no joke. They're a musical act that is impossible to follow because they're their own sequel. Please welcome the Kubo Threes. I think we're going to try and actually have them live next year.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing, yeah. So this is the only award that we do ourselves.
Right. The Wombat. What is a Wombat? Can you describe one? Would you even know where to begin? Apologies to any wildlife experts in the audience, but that is the point of this next category.
And it's why it's the only category we judge.
This year we saw a brick building game, some 3D games like Rad Racer and World Runner, and a girl who surfs on a land-based pirate ship.
And yes, the one that really made us hoist the mainsail was Land Ahoy. And we don't have that because we were still talking about that when we put the show together. The thing about Land Ahoy that we thought was so interesting was, first of all, the polish on it was incredible.
Oh, amazing. It
so
looked
great
gorgeous.
music, great visuals, a great narrative setup with a sea shanty.
Yeah,
like
really
clever.
innovative gameplay.
And the gameplay was not all that unfamiliar. It scrolled to the side, but you got to ride on a vehicle and interact with the background and the things.
Right.
It was a riff on things we'd seen, but done in a completely unique way. There was a verisimilitude to it.
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything quite like that accomplished before.
And especially with that level of polish.
And I've seen it discussed before, but not executed before.
That's true. We want to invite some very special guests up for the next award.
Another new category this year, the Emissary recognizes the efforts of cross-generational teams. And the best people to judge that
are one such team. We'll let them tell you what makes a great intergenerational team. Here to announce the inaugural Emissary Award is the NESmaker community's formative cross-generational team, Dale, Coop, and SJ.
Thank you. So to begin, we want to say we're very happy to be here today, this weekend. It's a really great event. And so we know that working together, like someone who grew with NES like me and someone who never played before like him, working together on games, like making new projects with a limitation of the NES that he didn't know because he used to play on modern games, and so 8-bit is very new for these kids. So they need to learn the tools, the limitation, and sometimes it's very challenging to make those kind of games together because we don't have the same thinking, or we want to do everything big explosion, big effects, and big colors, and in fact we need to find the good balance between the limitation and easy imagination. And the projects a lot of games we tested, amazing games, guys. We played a lot of games, and we saw a lot of good projects within the kids and the fathers or the families, and it was difficult to choose one. Of course, there was 3 games who were really impressed us. Like the third one was Dragon Raid. It's a very story. It's a dragon who kills everything and destroys the houses, and it was very fun. And yeah, Seiji liked it. Yes, you liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and And for the second game, it was a very like a big world. It was a fantasy world. The game is a fantasy legend, and we can see the world was built with a kids and a father, because a lot of elements were really crazy, like colors, and it was difficult to place this one second, but we had to choose only one. So our favorite one, the first for the awards, I will let Seiji say.
The winner is Substation 7.
Yeah, congrats. Yeah, that game was very. It was in space. It's exploration in space, so you have to collect things and explore the planets and the stations, and you can see the kids made the graphics, the explosion of colors and crazy ID, and a lot of traps everywhere. It reminds the game Seiji made the first game was exactly the same. A lot of traps everywhere, because kids love make something just difficult and bad for parents. So we saw it all, and the game has a really incredible story. He made like a fanzine with the game, so you can see all the story behind and the lore behind the game, and great music and great exploration. We had a lot of fun with this game.
It's great to have them come all the way across the pond to hang out here. This is the second year in a row, and we hope to see them recurring to come back.
Well, it's time for another break. We've got more 8-bit mayhem and nonsense for you.
On the other side of the break, I think we have 2 awards left, just the audience choice and Game of the Year, best game.
So stick around, or we'll be back in a bit.
This is ND46W, one of the world's longest straight roads. Its length is approximately 121 miles or 194 kilometers. Still, its length is no match for cars human has made. But what about the new frontier? Electric cars. Are you ready to take your Open Chord, Dazzle Type Q, or Kaya Nitro all the way to the end? Check out this brand new game for the NES. Cruising on the Retroverse. Now! Don't forget to grab a canister of Dino Juice. You'll never know when you need it.
Mira, hijo, yo necesito ajo, chocolate, gominolas, maíz dulce, caramelo, algodón de azúcar, paleta, cacahuete, fruta fresca, o manzana, plátano, naranja, etcétera.
Creo que vas a necesitar ayuda. Salta, trepa, come, devora tu camino a través de una tierra rebosante de delicias y sorpresas. Come muffins, dispara cacahuetes, mientras esquivas obstáculos y peligros. Todo en búsqueda de completar tu lista de compras y regresar a casa. Puedes saborear la victoria, satisface tus antojos y sacia tu apetito por la aventura en Snack Venture. Ahora disponible para emuladores de Sistema de Entretenimiento Nintendo y Famicom.
Smile Hero.
games in the contest this year have been uploaded to the Retroverse, an online platform where people can play and vote on their favorites. Audience choice is tallied from votes on the Retroverse.
Tonight, tonight when this was written, it was night. It's night somewhere. Someone watching this, it is night.
Could well be night.
Yes. Tonight, the voting is locked. The votes are in, and the 2024 winner of Audience Choice Award is Midnight Zone.
We don't have anything for that.
Because we didn't know which would be the one until the last second, of course. But
here we are, end of the journey for now. Our theme this year was New Frontiers.
The new frontiers of retro game development have only begun to be explored. Tonight, you've seen dozens of examples that explored the breadth and depth and pushed the envelope of what was possible in ways that we've never seen before.
Our final judges know something about that because they created a new way to play classic systems. Here to announce the best NESmaker game of 2024 is the team at Polymega.
Hi. First off, I'd like to say how much I enjoyed playing everybody's games. But right now I'd like to share, in my opinion, the top 3. Second runner-up, Delta 9. Great job in the game mechanics. I felt like Metal Gear, Zelda, and Last Alert were like part of the vibe. The map was well laid out, and the interactive and non-interactive components were well separated. Upgrading was fun, and I felt like the backtracking was meaningful. Runner-up, The Adventures of Panzer Frontiers. This game is just plain addictive fun. It gives me a Gunsmoke and Sunset Riders vibe. It was fun to get the hang of avoiding obstacles, and I felt a sense of accomplishment when I could finally do it well. Fighting enemies, riding the train was a blast. First place, Pizza Portals. I can't believe how polished and fun this game is. The graphics and music are awesome, and the unique gameplay feels refreshing and undeniably addictive. The difficulty curve feels great, and I felt compelled to play repeatedly, even when I started doing badly. Great job, everyone.
That's our show. We hope you've been shocked, surprised, and most of all, inspired to make even more of the games we all love.
we will continue to do this annually for as long as you guys continue to create things and support it. We want to thank everyone who is watching both here and the stream across the world. So thanks, everybody, and have a great rest of the convention.